By the time you hear this recording, I will be one day away from my 30th birthday. And, as I get closer to that special day and remind myself of my own mortality by being 1 year closer to death, there are a lot of important things about life that just flood through my mind. But there's one thing, one really important thing that has persisted throughout the years, something that has been weighing on me more and more specifically over the last couple. Now that I'm actually about to become a 30-year-old Fortnite content creator, I think it's time we address the elephant in the room. Ladies and gentlemen, quite frankly, Fortnite is for adults. Don't believe me? Stick around to the end of the video. I'll prove it to you. When I think back to when Fortnite first came out and what made me fall in love with this game, outside of the unique gameplay, it was the culture and the community that was set around it. There are a lot of aspects of Fortnite's culture that have just disappeared over the last few years, but if there's one thing that's always been in the back of my mind, even something that we've talked about on stream quite a few times, it's that when Fortnite first came out, the people that made it popular were grown-ass adults. I remember one of the reasons why I started falling more and more in love with this game wasn't just because of the unique gameplay or the really awesome cosmetic system or the live events. It was because of the content creators that were making banger content. And guess what? All of those people were adults. We're talking about Tim the Tatman, Nick Mercs, Ninja, even Cypher PK, Courage JD. Don't let the family-friendly persona of some of these content creators fool you. Back in the day, the gameplay was raw, unfiltered, and goofy as shit, and we all absolutely loved it. We ate it up. The person that I used to love watching the most, hands down, was Tim the Tatman. Just his interactions with Nick Mercs when they would play together, absolute peak content creation. The gameplay was funny, and then you throw Ninja and Cypher into the mix from time to time. Bro, it was just fantastic. Tim had some of the most iconic moments in gaming history, especially when he played with Ninja. That deserves a video all in of itself, but just thinking back to that time and all the different content creators that just made the game fun to watch, those are the people that really cultivated and captured the culture. Although you could use the competitive Fortnite scene as an example of how young players were also cultivating the culture of the game, which is completely true. We had our Ghost Aidens back in the day as well. In my opinion, it was really the older people that were at the forefront of Fortnite culture. You also need to keep in mind, we had two prestigious doctors playing the game at the time, Dr. Lupo and Dr. Disrespect. One of those is no longer allowed to be talked about on the internet anymore. I used to wake up in the morning right before work and watch Daily Clips Central just to see what the newest clips were of Ninja and all the other big content creators at the time and see what shenanigans they had gotten up to the night before. But it wasn't just the big creators that were posting clips, and this is what people forget about. Like, there's one clip in particular that always sticks in my mind. This is one black dude who's going absolutely crazy with the scar and the pump shotgun.
I'll take out this whole squad if I have to. I'll take out this whole squad if I have to. Boy, murder your whole team. I'll take out this whole squad. Grill, you get grilled too. Who's next? You get grilled. Everybody get grilled. You next.
Every single person that he comes across, he's just absolutely destroying. And for the time, it was an insane clip. He dropped, I think it was like 20 or 22 kills. And we were all looking at him like, oh my gosh, this man is a freaking monster. I think this is a testament to how fun of a game Fortnite was, because when you have grown-ass men getting excited about winning Fortnite on the internet, where all their friends, their family, the girl they're talking to, everybody can see it, they just don't care because they're having that much fun. There's something that Ninja said recently, which I found absolutely hilarious, but it's borderline true. Being good at Fortnite used to pull bitches.
Building used to get bitches. It doesn't anymore, bro. They don't care. Literally, bro. There was like a 1 to 2 year period where like cranking 90s and videos like were awesome. And it was like, oh my God, bro, look at this guy's editing. Oh, look at it. He can triple edit. No one cares, bro. No one cares if you piece someone up anymore, dude.
See, the thing is, because winning was so hard back in the day, if you were actually able to get a victory royale, it was worth showing off to all your friends. Not to mention the idea, the concept of a battle royale was still relatively new. So everybody was trying to get that dub. And if you were able to do it, it signaled to all the women, hey, look at me. I play Fortnite and I'm pretty goddamn good at it. Finally, when Fortnite got really established, the memes that would come out at that time were just legendary. One of my favorites used to be a format like this. Yeah, since you females know so much, which one of these do you drink first? And it'd be a picture of minis and a 50 pot. And it was just like the culture, man. The culture at that time was just funny. But it was just grown-ass people making memes, putting them on the internet, and everybody was in on the joke. It was a good time. Heck, even some of my friends, when they would date girls, some of their dates would just be them playing Fortnite Fortnite with their girl in the group chat or in the VC, and we'd be having a great time. I remember one time I was playing with Nate, Terrence, and this girl that Terrence was talking to, and Nate had given Terrence's girl some minis, and I remember being like, hey, bro, if it were me personally, man, I wouldn't let Nate give my girl minis, bro. I'm just saying, bro. Like, that's pretty wild. And she took them too. I don't know, man. Just taking another dude's minis is kind of out of pocket. Grown-ass folk used to just have fun playing Fortnite, man, and it was absolutely normal. But listen, it wasn't just the gameplay and memes that made Fortnite feel like it had a strong adult culture. It was also the storyline. Now look, I know a lot of y'all probably could care less about Fortnite storyline. However, I don't care. This is important to my point, and it needs to be talked about more. See, the funny thing is, when you mention the Fortnite storyline, now everybody's like, oh my god, Fortnite, nobody gives a shit, the storyline's dead. And to a certain degree, you're kind of right. Like, people just don't care as much about the storyline as they used to. However, back when the storyline first started, I'm talking chapter 1, season 3, and we all saw that comment in the sky. All of my 25, 23, 26 something year old friends, all of them were talking about when that meteor was gonna hit and what was gonna happen. And listen, it didn't just stop there. As the storyline became more complex, people were still talking about different things that would happen. We were theorizing on what was gonna go down. For example, I remember when the volcano was put inside of Fortnite, everybody, all my friends, my 20, even sometimes 30-year-old friends were talking about how, yeah, man, I saw a leak, bro, on Twitter. Yeah, man, that volcano's gonna explode and it's gonna hit Tilted Towers and it's gonna completely destroy Tilted, bro. Oh my god, the city is gonna be crazy. Listen, guys, the storyline was just amazing, and it brought so many people together even in the early days. We might not have known all the particulars. We might not have been super mega 11 nerds talking about the foundation and the last reality and all these other terms that I could throw out that half of you probably aren't going to know what I'm saying, but people cared about the storyline. Now here's what's interesting. As time went on and the storyline became more complex, I found that my friends and other people around me still cared about it. Maybe not to the same degree as Cyan or Restro, but people were still invested in the storyline, and it all had to do with the live events. The live events were the glue that kind of tied everything together. But even when I was making Fortnite theories back, 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, there were still a lot of adult fans that I had that really enjoyed the storyline, because guess what? Adults love good storytelling, and Donald Mustard included a lot of mature themes in his storyline. I think back to reading the Zero War comics and some of the dark themes that were persistent in there. They touched some really cool concepts. The fact that Jonesy had a wife and kids, potentially grandkids, an entire family that he had to leave behind because he had work to do for the Imagined Order and lived for centuries without being able to check in on them and see them. As cringe as this is, you had characters like the Imagined and Wolverine sleeping together in one of the issues of the comics. You had Sherry trying to throw it back on a real one. Takes you can keep that. You can keep that part of me laughing in there, bro. You had Sherry trying to throw it back on a real one, ready to give it up mid-comic. Not to mention, there was this interesting family dynamic that was built up between the sisters and Jenna. Now, at first glance, for the younger readers, it may have seemed like Jenna was this big, bad, evil guy that just abandoned his daughters, but when you actually read between the lines of what was said in the comics, it seemed like there was more to Jenna than what we had initially thought. When I read the comics, although Jenna was at odds with the Seven, it didn't seem like he was someone that was really trying to destroy everything. It did genuinely seem like he wanted to protect not only the Omniverse, but his daughters. It's a very subtle theme that was hinted at, and I think it's very tragic that Donald Mustard was never able to complete his story. That's what makes the Fortnite storyline kind of suck, because there are so many interesting plot threads and beats that were just left unanswered, never to be touched again, because the original creator, the person that had the original vision for the story, is now gone. My point here is that good storytelling will always resonate with an adult audience, and when your story has mature themes, it gives it weight and it resonates with the older fans a lot more. There is not a single person on this planet that will ever tell me that the storytelling in Fortnite did not matter, because it genuinely did. It made the overall experience of the game better. And if you think about the best video games that have ever existed, a good chunk of them have very well told stories. People get passionate about video game characters the same way they get passionate about comic book characters, and it's because they have amazing stories. But let me get off my writer storytelling soapbox, because there's one more aspect that absolutely, without a doubt, 100% proves that Fortnite has always been for adults, and that is collabs. When I look at some of Fortnite's collabs, what it signals to me is that there has to be a good chunk of the player base that's an older demographic in order for these things to be profitable. For example, Rick and Morty, Family Guy, Invincible, Terminator, Alien, Predator, These are not child properties. These are mature IPs. I do not think the average 8-year-old is sitting there watching episodes of Rick and Morty, and if they are, God help them. Same goes for Invincible. Yeah, it's about superheroes, but it's got some gore that, I don't know, can even rival The Boys at times. Quite frankly, I would not be surprised if we got The Boys inside of Fortnite eventually. And Lord knows, if you've watched The Boys, you know for a damn fact that that is not a show for children. Now look, because the internet is what it is, a lot of these kids are exposed to more adult or more mature media. However, in spite of that, because a lot of these IPs are just adult focused, and some of these are even older, you're talking about things from the 80s like Terminator and Predator, they are appealing to a demographic that is outside of the standard kid range. Now listen, in spite of the mountain of evidence that I've laid out for you today, we cannot ignore the fact that people are still going to perceive Fortnite as a kid's game. But why is that? And how did it change so much from the early days of Fortnite Chapter 1? I mean, think about it. We went from people posting their Fortnite highlights on Facebook to now everyone claiming, ah yes, Fortnite, the game for children. I think there are a series of small but impactful changes that happened in Fortnite culture over the last 6 years that kind of changed the public perception on what Fortnite is as a game and who it really appeals to. Fortnite has always had a more playful, cartoony aesthetic. It's not like Call of Duty where you might see some blood on the screen somewhere. Fortnite, for the most part, stays away from any blood or gore that would be in their media. When characters die, they become a pixelated image, not a bloody splatter on a TV screen. I think what's ironic about this is, as the years have gone on, Fortnite has actually become more realistic in terms of its art style, but the perception of the game has become more childish. Whereas when the game was at its most cartoony incarnation, adults everywhere just enjoyed the hell out of it. It was a game that we didn't take too seriously, but ironically at the same time, a lot of us did. Even during the OG days, I remember friends of mine that loved to play Fortnite would talk down on it because of the cartoony, childish style. But the way I always looked at it was, it's just an artistic choice. I don't care that the game is more cartoony, that's just the way that this video game happens to look. And remember, as I already pointed out, they make cartoons for adults. The other thing too is, even with Fortnite's own original style, they've had a few concepts or ideas that did border on risque when it came to certain cosmetics. There have been multiple times where Fortnite kind of skirted the line on what was a little too revealing for certain characters. All the gooners out there know what I'm talking about. You know what your favorite skins are, okay? Don't worry, I have the same ones favorited in my locker too. It's fine. This is a safe space here. Outside of the artistic style, I think the thing that really makes people perceive Fortnite as a kid's game is the nature of Fortnite content. God bless the top tier Fortnite content creators. I love them, but damn, a lot of their stuff is just so childish to watch. Even when some of it borders on more mature, it kind of feels a little pandery, like you're kind of talking down to me if I watch your videos. Now, that doesn't make you a bad content creator, but it also doesn't really attract the mature fan base. I think there's a large percentage of Fortnite's fan base that are grown folk, but they just don't interact with Fortnite content because they don't believe that there's anybody out there, or they don't know of anybody out there that makes content for them. Which, if you're one of those people, hey, welcome to the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want some Fortnite content for adults, welcome. Also, might as well remind you to throw my creator code in your item shop. That's honestly more important to me than subscribing. You cannot subscribe, but just throw code Clark in there. I love you, appreciate you. Moving on. I mentioned this in the TikTok earlier this week, but I think the larger content creators are probably going to get to a point where they're going to feel like they need to make an adjustment with their content. I don't know how many of them are going to want to go into their early to mid 30s still doing the over-the-top goofy Fortnite accent. And once again, even if you're not doing that, I don't know how fulfilled you're going to be just talking down and pandering to your audience. Personally, my philosophy as a content creator is you should always want to grow with your audience. If my audience is maturing into young adults, I want to have content that reflects that. And even if I have some younger people that come by and watch my stuff from time to time, I want you to feel respected. It's like when you're a kid and the adults invite you to sit at the grown-up table. You feel like a grown-up. Even though you're not one, you just feel good being there, sitting with all the adults. Finally, and ironically enough, I think a lot of the collabs played a part into Fortnite's identity becoming more childlike. We've all seen the meme, it's the guy from Fortnite. I've even had comments left on my TikTok saying like, oh God, I don't want them to bring Goku in. Now every little Timmy's gonna be saying, oh look, it's the character from Fortnite, mom. Actually, I think it was when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was revealed to be the Foundation. I think that's when that meme really started taking off. So we're talking late chapter 2. Going into early chapter 3. Not to mention all the memes that were generated by the different types of teams that you could create inside of Fortnite with all the IPs that were in. Like, you could have Naruto, Optimus Prime, Darth Vader, and Vegeta all on a team together, which is insanity when you say it out loud. Even I've made skits about that on this channel.
All right, Autobots, listen up. Megatron is held somewhere in brutal bastion with Darth Vader, Naruto, and John Cena. We have Thomas the Tank Engine's reboot card, but that means we're down a man. So rebooting this late in the game might be a little risky, but if we... by the Matrix. Are you even listening?
Yes, it's true that Fortnite does have a lot of mature IPs, but there's also a lot of neutral ones in there that people can enjoy as well. Just big pop culture icons that appeal to a wide demographic of ages. For example, Superman, Batman, Captain America, Master Chief, Avatar Aang. The list goes on and on. There's just so many IPs that exist inside of Fortnite. And what I realized is that Fortnite, after a while, just started to lean in on the meme. They're like, oh, you guys want to make fun of everybody being inside of Fortnite? Well, joke's on you. We're going to bring in everybody into Fortnite, and we're also going to take your money. And guess what they did? They have taken thousands of dollars from me at this point. It's a problem. Send help. But you know what? All jokes aside, guys, I think that's the beauty of this game. Is Fortnite a game that appeals to young kids and has a large child player base? Absolutely. But do adults enjoy it too? And are there a lot of things for adults inside of Fortnite? Also, yes. I think that's what makes this game so amazing, is that there's so much that appeals to such a wide range of people, just like your favorite IPs out there. Transformers is enjoyed by adults and kids alike. Same thing with Superman, same thing with damn near any other long-lasting IP that you can think of. But for me and all the other old people out there, Fortnite is definitely for us, and I am totally not making this video just because I'm turning 30 tomorrow. With that being said, if you want to check out some more adult-based Fortnite content, check out this video up on the screen right here, okay? It's gonna be for all of my old Fortnite people, okay? We're getting old, guys, all right? A lot of us are getting old. If you are old and a Fortnite player, okay, I'm talking 29 plus. You know what? Screw it. 20. What do we want to make the cutoff point? 24? If you're 24 years old on up, leave a comment down below. All right, tell me how old you are in the comment section. If you're not, that sounds weird. Don't actually, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that on video. That could get me in trouble later. Let's not do that. If you're an old person, leave a comment down below. I love y'all, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.